Hello, this is Brett from Skate the Foundry, and I am at the Elkins Park location. I want to thank you for coming to Discovery Day. We had a blast with you, whether you were here or if you're in West Philly. I want to just say thank you. It was a pleasure skating with you. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a few tips of what you can do to practice, even if you don't have a skateboard. And we hope to see you soon. We want you to come back. But for now, enjoy the recap video and leave a comment. So here are a couple steps that we went over today. Then I'm going to do a recap and show you some ways that you can practice with your skateboard. And if you don't have a skateboard, hold tight or fast forward for like 30 seconds and then I'll show you what you can do. For those that have a skateboard, you want to stand next to your skateboard with your feet about in the center of your skateboard. Then you're going to do step one, putting the foot that's closest to your skateboard on over number one, and you probably won't have marks on your skateboard. So you want to just make sure that your toes are directly over the bolts. And if they're too far up, then you're going to fall forward. So you want to make sure that they are right over these bolts here. These are the screws. Your feet go right over. And then step number two is you're going to have your back foot go right over number two, which is on the tail of the skateboard. And you want to make sure that your feet are making a T shape. So that's number two. A lot of beginners do this. They go over here and then they move their foot back, but that is incorrect. You want to make sure your foot goes onto the right spot right away. So step two. And now step three, you're going to push on your front foot and you're going to slide it sideways. You don't want to lift up your foot to make your turn because then your board is going to come up. So we are sliding our foot. So when we want to get off of our skateboard, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push down on the front foot, slide it back to the position number one, and then step off with your back foot, and then step off with your front foot. You want to be able to do this about 5 times without looking down at your feet. Step one, step two, step three. To get off, step 1, 2, 3. Now, if you don't have a skateboard, that's perfectly fine. We're going to use this tape measure and we're going to measure 30 inches in length, 8 inches across. We're going to draw that down on the floor with some chalk. All right, so here we go. We are going to make our skateboard on the ground, 30 inches. This looks a little bit longer by 8 inches. Oh my gosh. So it's going to be this length. All right, so now we have our skateboard, and I am gonna just make a little nose, a tail, and we have our screws. Doesn't have to be perfect. And what we're gonna do is the same thing. We're gonna just practice step 1, 2, back foot all the way back on the tail, and then step 3. 1, 2, 3. And if we can do this without looking, then you are gonna be really good once you get onto your skateboard. And you can probably tell my knees are kind of bent, so you wanna make sure your knees stay bent. One thing that I like to do when I'm practicing this, or when I tell my students to practice this, is to put their skateboard or draw their chalk line in front of some type of distraction, like a TV, and then practice the movements. Because when you are at a skate park or you're out in public skating in a parking lot, you're never looking down at your feet. You're always looking at where you're going. You always want to avoid potential hazards. So you just want to make sure that you know your foot stance and your foot positioning before you start going to the skate park. Another thing that you may have seen us use, skate trainers. These things are super helpful for new skaters. We love them and we use them all the time, which is the reason why we have them for all of our students when they come here to skate the Foundry. So these are our skate trainers. I recommend having a pair of these. They come in a package of 4. And we use these all the time, from beginners, first-time skaters learning how to stand on their board and with their foot positioning, which we did today, or even experienced skaters learning how to ollie, kickflip, or even pop shove it. We use these as well. So for your convenience, I have left a link in our description below where you can find the exact pair that we use here at the shop, and you can order them off Amazon, or you can also just stop in at the shop and get them here on your next lesson. Well, thank you so much again for stopping in. Today was an amazing day. All of our staff had a great time meeting you, your family, and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye.